And post the class, we shall proceed with the announcements and the normal schedules. We will also announce the fast time for Ekadashi. Just give me a second. I'm pulling up the shloka. Hare Krishna devotees, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Prabhu. थोड़ा zoom कर दिया था.
Sure. I'll just zoom a little. Is it okay?
Perfect, Prabhu.
Okay. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So we are reciting from Srimad Bhagavatam, Shloka number, Canto 1, Shloka number, chapter number 4 and Shloka number 14. So I want one devotee who can be my chorus. Suresh Prabhu, are you there today?
Yes, Prabhu, I'm there. I can do.
Srimad Bhagavatam 1.4.14. So devotees, those who are chanting, I request you to give a pause. I shall complete within time, but I have some very important. So kindly give a pause to your japa and you can continue after, say 20-25 minutes. Sutta Uvacha.
Sutta Uvacha.
Dvapare Samanuprapte.
Dvapare Samanuprapte.
Tritiye Yugparyaye.
Tritiye Yugaparyaye.
Jatah Parasharadyogi.
Jatah Parasharadyogi.
Vasvyam Kalaya Harehe.
Vasavyam Kalaya Hare.
One more time we'll do. Sutta Uvacha.
Sutta Uvacha.
Dvapare Samanuprapte.
Dvapare Samanuprapte.
Tritiye Yugparyaye.
Tritiye Yugaparyaye.
Jatah Parasharadyogi.
Jatah Parasharadyogi.
Vasvyam Kalaya Hare.
Vasavyam Kalaya Hare.
Thank you, Prabhu. So
Thank
word
you.
by word meaning. Sutta Sut Goswami Uvacha said, Dwapare in the second millennium, Samanuprapte on the advent of, then Tritiye, third Yuga, millennium, Prapye in the place of, Jataha was begotten, Parasharat by Parashara, Yogi, the great sage, Vasavyam in the womb of the daughter of Vasu, Kalaya in the plenary portion, Hare of the personality of Godhead. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So Suta Goswami said, when the second millennium overlapped the third, the great sage Vyasadeva was born to Parasara in the womb of Satyavati, the daughter of Vasu. Purport. There is a chronological order of the four millenniums, namely Satya, Dwapara, Treta, and Kali. But sometimes there is overlapping. During the regime of Vaivashvata Manu, there was an overlapping of the 28th round of the four millennium, and third millennium appeared prior to the second. In that particular millennium, Lord Shri Krishna also descends, and because of this, there was some particular alteration. The mother of great sage was Satyavati, the daughter of Vasu, fisherman, and the father was great Parashar Muni. That is the history of Vyasadeva's birth. Every millennium is divided into three periods, and each period is called Sandhya. Vyasadeva appeared in the third Sandhya of that particular age. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Padamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Shah Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijan Saitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namastate तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vacharam pangam langayati girim yat kripahatamam vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram. Hare Krishna. So wonderful shloka today again, and thanking Matrapati Prabhuji and Parabhakti Mataji for giving this opportunity to me and giving an opportunity to all of us so that we can hear all auspicious Srimad Bhagavatam in the beginning of the day. There can be no better start than this. Okay, so before I begin, there is a small icebreaker question to all of you, and you don't have to answer unmuting yourself. You can just message on the chat box. That should be fine. Okay, so the question for all of you is that very easy question. We have 4 yoga cycles. Okay, so all you have to do is you have to mention the order of the yoga cycle, and as we proceed, it will be revealed. But yes, that's the question for all of you. Let me see how many of you will respond on the chat box. Okay, you have to respond the yoga cycle. While you are responding, I shall proceed. So in this shloka, we see that there are a lot of things which are coming up in this shloka, and it is good if you have your calculator on. You can keep your calculator on because there is going to be some mathematics class today. Just part of it, not. I know I don't want to bore you early in the morning with the maths. So just part of it. And then we are going to discuss about, why this overlapping of the yuga happened. Okay, something very interesting. And then birth of Vyasadeva is we are going to discuss because, thanks to Vyasadeva that we got this access to all these scriptures. Otherwise, I don't know what would have been our situation. Okay, and then we will also understand why a curse given by the sage converts into the boon. So these are a couple of points I have got on my cards. Let's see how many we can cover. So let me see, 4 devotees have answered. So Sonakshi Mataji says Satyyoga, then Vijita Mataji says Satyyoga, Dwapar, Treta and Kali. Thank you, Mataji. Ramana Venkat Prabhu says Satya, Treta, Dwapar and Kali. Satya, Treta, Dwapar and Kali. Nirmala Mataji. Sonakshi Mataji also says the same. Thank you, all the 4 devotees. So for other devotees who have not responded, not to worry, we shall proceed. So we know that the Yuga cycle start like Satyuga, Treta, Dwapar and Kali. Okay, but if you go as per the order, Dwapar means 2. Okay, so ideally after Satyuga, it should be Dwapar Yuga. And then Treta means 3. So that should be the 3rd one. And then comes the Kali, which is the 4th one. But here we see that Satyuga and after Satyuga, Treta is coming. Okay, so we have to understand a little bit of mathematics here. When we calculate Brahma's 1 day, so Brahma's 1 day is equivalent to 1000 Yuga cycles. When Satyuga, Treta, Dwapar and Kali, it goes round and round 1000 times. So that becomes 12 hours of Brahma. And then again, when 1000 yugas pass, that becomes one night for Brahma. Okay. So that is the, lengthy calculation of Brahma's life. But Brahma's life is so long, so big. But even that big life appears to be, fraction of seconds when it is compared to, Mahavishnu's breath. So when Mahavishnu is breathing, he is exhaling and all the planets are coming out. And in each planet, there is a Brahma. And when Mahavishnu is inhaling, all the planets disappear. So that is the life cycle of Brahma when we compare to Mahavishnu. But we see that Brahma's life cycle is so big. And when we try to calculate in the calculators, I'm sure if you have a computer, it will work. Otherwise, your calculator will show that E mark, that it can't go beyond that. Okay. So we all know that Yuga cycle, how many ages. Kali Yuga is 4,32,000. Then you double it, that becomes the age of Treta. And then you add another 4 lakh something, it becomes Dwapar, and then another 4 lakh something, it becomes Satyuga. So total, if you make one Yuga cycle is some 16 lakhs or 17 lakhs years. So that you multiply with 1000, that becomes a day, 1 day of Brahma. So that's about 1 day of Brahma. So I will also give you another calculation. When Brahma's 1 day, in Brahma's 1 day, there is 14 Manus which appear. And in one Manu, there is 71 Mahayugas which are there. Okay. So Mahayuga means Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali. When it goes one time, it is one Mahayuga. So we have 71 Mahayuga in one Manu's lifetime, and there are 14 Manus in 1 day of Brahma. Okay. So currently we are going through the 28th Mahayuga, which is running. Okay, which comes after that is Satyug, Treta, Dwapar. So we are in the Kali, 28th Mahayuga. So one very important point here to understand is that this 28th Mahayuga, it is very, very special. Yesterday Lilas Das Prabhuji was giving a class, and he was mentioning that being an Indian is such a fortune. Okay, we might not understand. Prabhu was saying that to get visa, he was praying hardly. He was praying hard. And when he get his visa, he was so happy that he is able to stay 10 days in Bangalore, 10 days in Delhi, and other places in Vrindavan and Mayapur. Okay, that is his fortune. But just imagine how lucky we are, how fortunate we are that we are born and brought up in India. So India, why it is considered very, very auspicious? Because in India, the spirit of India is spirituality. Everywhere you see there is spirituality. Names of the children's, names of the shop. And that day I was mentioning, I was just going to the office and I saw there was a tea shop, and the name of the tea shop was Ramji Chai Wale. So I was surprised. They have made Ramji as Chai Wala. So the reason here is that spirituality is in the blood of India. So you will find these auspicious names, Rama, Krishna, Venkateshwara, Balaji, everywhere, in India. This we do not find when we are in countries like Estonia, like Prabhu was mentioning. In European countries, we don't find these opportunities. So one way we are very, very fortunate, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Bharat Bhumi Hoile Manushya Janma Jara, Janma Sarthak Kari Kar Paropakara. That's our purpose. Our purpose is not to run behind, the Western civilization, because Western civilization, after doing everything, they are running behind Eastern civilization, that is India. But we don't have to run behind them. When we run behind them, it is like, outside we are brown, but inside we become white. So one Prabhu was giving example, it is like becoming a potato. Potato is brown, but inside it is white. So we don't want to become potato. Potato is harmful. So we become devotees. That is our real strength. So one way we are very, very fortunate that we are born in India. We are born in a place which is very, very close, close to the temple. We are having access to Shri Gandharvika Girdhari Narasimha temple. We are getting so many services. We have so many congregation leaders. We have senior Vaishnavas who are guiding us, who are reminding us. Mind you, we will not get these opportunities in the ages to come when the golden age of Kali is over. This is a golden age of Kali. That is one more reason for us to be very, very, consider ourselves to be very, very fortunate. Okay. Now, when we are so fortunate, we need to understand that we should not take things for granted. Okay. So now, when I say fortunate, there is one more very, very special thing. We are in the Manu, which is 28th Manu. Okay. So 28th Manu is considered very, very special because in this 28th Manu, only Krishna comes. Krishna does not come in every Manu's time. Okay. He comes on the this particular Manu's time on the 28th Mahayuga. So Krishna doesn't come on every Dwapar Yuga. Okay. You must be surprised. Oh, is it like that? Yes. Krishna doesn't come. He comes on the 28th Mahayuga. And one very good thing is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears in the same 28th Mahayuga soon after Krishna appears. The very next Kali Yuga when Krishna appears, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears. Just consider us, just think, imagine how lucky we are that we are in the same 28th Mahayuga, which is running currently. We are in the same 28th Mahayuga where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared just 550 years back. And we are in the same Mahayuga where Srila Prabhupada appeared just 50 years back. And we are in the same Mahayuga where our dearest beloved Guru Maharaj, the amazing personality, he is still present amongst us. So devotees who are, taking time for taking Diksha and, thinking that the time has not come, I will wait for some time. I am just warning you that it is a very, very auspicious combination which has set up. And if you miss out on this, then there can be nothing, because our Guru Maharaj is none other than an associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That was declared by Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so we are very, very fortunate, and we must make the best of it. When we are fortunate, suppose you got a diamond in your hand. So if you have a diamond in your hand, you won't be standing in a marketplace which is full of people, and keeping that diamond out like this, saying that I have got a diamond which is worth 101 crores. Okay, you won't do that. What we do, we just keep that diamond safe in our most safest place so that nobody can steal it. So this Krishna consciousness and this combination which I was saying, being born in India, being born in golden age of Kali, being born on the 28th Mahayuga, associating with the Vaishnavas in the congregation where so many devotees guiding us, temple very close, getting devotional service. This is not very, very easy. This is not a coincidence also. When we have got this, we should be so thankful to Krishna that you have given us this opportunity. We should be so thankful to Guru Maharaj. We should be so thankful to our senior guides, Vaishnavas, who are keeping us in track. So that's about the 28th Mahayuga, which we learned today, that it is so important. Now we shall discuss why this Yuga cycle interchanged. Okay, I was also very surprised when I was reading it. So I did a little research. So you all know the story of Gautam Rishi and his wife, how Gautam Rishi had cursed, I'm forgetting the name of Mataji, Ahilya. Yes. So how Gautam Rishi had cursed Ahilya, that story we all know. So when Ahilya was cursed, she said, it was not my fault. Indra came in your disguise. So please give me a remedy also for this curse which you have given me. Okay. The curse was that, she will become stone, and she was a pious lady. So Gautam Rishi, he said, okay, fine, I'll give you the remedy for this. And that is when Lord Sri Ram comes in the Treta Yuga. Okay. When Lord Sri Ram comes in Treta Yuga, that point of time, when Lord Ram puts his feet on you, then you shall convert back into your original form, and you will have the darshan of Lord Sri Ram. That's your curse and your blessings as well. So Ahilya spoke that point of time. She said, my dear Lord, this dear husband, this age is running Satyuga, and Treta Dwapar will come, and then after Dwapar Treta will come, because that was the Yuga cycle: Satyuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta, and Kali Yuga. So it will become so difficult for me to wait for the Lord. So many, just imagine, we can't wait for 1 hour also, if there is something we have so impatience, and she has to wait in the stone form. And remember that stone is living stone. It is not a dead stone. She will be present in that, and she has to wait so long, So that is why we see in the Krishna consciousness, in Nectar of Instructions, there is a shloka, Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya. So Dhairya is very, very important. And we see in the scriptures how devotees have expressed, have shown a lot of patience, and then they were successful. So if we think it is taking a lot of time and we become restless, that is not the ideal thing. We need to be very, very patient. We understand this from Ahilya. So Ahilya requested Gautam Rishi, and Gautam Rishi said, "Fine, we'll do one thing, just to ensure you don't have to wait for long. Lord will appear in the Treta, but the Yuga cycle will interchange. Treta will come before, then Dwapara, and that is how for this particular Yuga cycle, the it interchanges. Like Srila Prabhupada is writing, sometimes it overlaps, and that is how it overlapped. And Treta came second, and then comes Dwapara. And the wonderful thing here, if you see in this curse, was because Lord Sri Ram is going to appear, and after Lord Sri Ram, the next Yuga which is coming up, which is Dwapara, end of Dwapara, Krishna is coming. And after Krishna is disappearing, he connects in the Srimad Bhagavatam form, which we are reading today. And after Krishna, the next personality coming is Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the most merciful incarnation. And we are in this age of Kali, that is golden age of Kali. So we need not wait anymore. The first thing we should do is make all the arrangements. Yeah, make all the arrangements which will help us to progress in Krishna consciousness. We keep making so many arrangements for our children to put them in the good school. We make arrangements for our house so that we stay in a house which is comfortable. We make arrangements for our office that we are in a comfortable office. We make arrangements for a car or various other facilities so that we are not troublesome. But the first arrangement we need to make is that we make our life Krishna conscious, because that's an emergency, that's an urgency. We need not wait any longer. So that is very, very important. So we learned about Yuga cycle being interchanged. We learned about 28 Mahayuga being so very important. Okay. So now we shall discuss about the birth of Vyasadeva. But before I describe the birth of Vyasadeva, there is one word of caution and something which I need to mention, which we need to be very, very careful, because we should not get bewildered by the Lilas which are performed by the Lord. Okay, and here when we see birth of Vyasadeva and various activities done by Lord Krishna, sometimes we might get bewildered. Okay, so like I was listening to one lecture, Mataji was mentioning that if you are in first standard and if you're given 12th standard books with various mathematical calculations such as mensuration, algebra, geometry, theorems, various things, we will not understand what is this. I don't know. How do I understand this? Because I only know A, B, C, D, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we should not get bewildered, because when the time comes, when we are in the 12th standard, we will easily crack those sums. It will not be difficult for us. So when we are reading the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is just the beginning. And as we proceed, we will understand the different Leelas performed by the Lord. That's a disclaimer. And one example I want to give you. There was a time in Vrindavan when Durvasa Muni had come. So when Durvasa Muni had come, so all the gopis, they wanted to have darshan of the sage, because that was the practice. Any sage comes, they will go have darshan. Okay, make sure the sage is welcomed and treated well. So they wanted to cross river Yamuna, but Yamuna was in its full flow. So as usual, they went to Krishna and they said, Yamuna is in the full flow and we want to cross Yamuna. What can we do? And so Krishna said, Yamuna will give you way. All you have to do is, you have to just mention Yamuna, that my dear Yamuna, there is a Naishtik Brahmachari, and that Naishtik Brahmachari is none other than Krishna. That is what Krishna is advising. Krishna is saying, go tell Yamuna that a Naishtik Brahmachari is requesting you to give way to us. Okay. So the gopis, they started laughing. They said, Krishna, you and Naishtik Brahmachari, you keep teasing all the gopis all the time. You keep dancing with the gopis, and you talk so much things about yourself. Once Krishna was telling gopis that I am Lord, none other than Lord Sri Ram, and I came in this age, and I was doing tapasya, and I stayed in the Vanvas for 14 years, so many things, and I had superb aim when I was I was perfect in archery. When Krishna used to say like this to the gopis used to make fun of Krishna, and they used to tell Krishna, Krishna, even I have read Ramayana, So please don't make fun of us. Just don't try to bluff us. Okay, we know who you are. They never used to treat Krishna as God, and they used to make fun of Krishna. But here, when Krishna is saying, go and request Yamuna Devi that a Nashtik brahmachari Krishna is requesting you to give us way, she will give you way. So gopis thought, okay, I know this fellow is not a Nashtik brahmachari. Let us try. It's okay. And when they went and they requested Yamuna that, Krishna, who is a Nashtik brahmachari, he is requesting you to give us way. So immediately that point of time, Yamuna Devi gave the way to these gopis, and they were surprised. They were puzzled. They couldn't understand, Krishna being like this. So Prabhupada writes, he says that if you want to question, you can question on philosophical point, but it is not very intelligent. It is not correct to question the action of the God. Okay. I repeat myself. Prabhupada says, question on philosophical points is perfect. You can ask and you can understand. But questioning the different acts of the Lord is not an ideal way of understanding things. Why? Because we are human beings. We do not have that capacity to understand, first thing. Second thing, we are the jivas of Kali. Third thing is, we have not even learned scriptures properly. We do not know the position of the Lord properly. So how can we judge, saying that I think Krishna should not be doing like this? I think Lord Ram should not be saying like this. So those are not the right inquiries that will, make us away from our Krishna consciousness, take us away. We need to be very, very perfect in asking philosophical question. Tad vidhi pradipatena pariprashnena sevaya. That should be the mode. Okay. And another example I can give, when Arjuna was bewildered, that point of time, Krishna was saying, don't think that these kings were not there in the past, and those things, these kings are not in present, and they will not be in the future. They were there, they are there, and they are going to be there in the future. Krishna says, Natve vaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipa nachayavana bhavishyama sarve vayamataha param. So Krishna says, they were always there. The difference is that I remember all this and you do not. Okay, so that is why Krishna can never do anything which is wrong. Lord Ram can do never anything which is wrong. None of the incarnations, whatever incarnations of the Lord they are, whether it is literary incarnation, whether it is Satyavati, whether it is empowered incarnation, they will never do anything which is incorrect. All right. So this is my disclaimer before I describe the birth of Vyasadeva, and we will be brief in that. So birth of Vyasdeva, if you browse through internet, you will be bewildered, because the way they describe it looks like that Parashar Muni was in an erotic relationship with Satyavati. He came on the boat and he saw her, and then they united, and then that gave birth to Vyasdeva. That's not right. We need to understand who was Satyavati. So Satyavati, she was born out of a fish, Satyavati and her brother. So there was a natural phenomena with her, and that was that because when we go to marketplace, sometimes there are fishes being sold. We have to close our nose. People, those who eat fish also, they have to close their nose. It has got such embarrassing smell. Okay, so that point of time, Satyavati, she was there used to be a lot of smell from her body. So at that point of time, just imagine Parashar Muni getting attracted towards Satyavati. That is not possible. There is no possibility of like that. Okay, so the situation was that Parashar Muni was on the boat, and Satyavati was taking him across the river. At that point of time, the calculation was such that it was a time for appearance of the literary incarnation of Vyasadeva, and that is why, for the service of the Lord, Parashar Muni had to request Satyavati that they need to get united, so that that gives birth to the Vyasdeva, because the ideal time has come. And that was the request of Parashar Muni, and the way it was performed, it was a very, very pious manner it was performed. And Parashar Muni blessed Satyavati that your stritva will remain same. You will not be considered as married to Parashar already. She will be like a unmarried woman. There will not be any changes in her body. And after that, that embarrassing smell used to come from her body. It turned into beautiful fragrance, and that used to go across places. That was Satyavati's blessing which she has got. And immediately Vyasadeva was born, and then he became 12-year child and he walked off. So the Prabhuji was mentioning, Yogavatar Prabhu's lecture, I heard he was mentioning that just imagine what an embarrassing service she got, Satyavati, you know. So he was giving example that when we get services and sometimes we feel embarrassed, suppose we go for book distribution, we are all well-to-do, we go in car and we have our own family, house, everything, everybody respect us. But when we go in a marketplace and we try to distribute books, so that point of time, what happens? People, sometimes they will show us face. No, 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 I don't want. Sometimes they will scold us, go away from here. Sometimes they will come and blaspheme us, saying that why you people always keep distributing books. There are some people will come and say, Quran people giving free of cost, and Bible they are giving free of cost. Why are you selling Bhagavad Gita? So many things. And we also get good responses when people come and tell us that you are doing a wonderful service. Some people come and say that you people are making India proud. Some people say that you are the real devotees. So like that, we get mixed responses when we do book distribution. So Yogavatar Prabhu was mentioning, he's from Pune. So he was saying that when we get this embarrassing, moments, we should not feel that, okay, why we should do book distribution? Why should I go for collection of donation? We should remember, like the first example we learned from Ahilya, that she had a lot of patience. And second one, we heard Satyavati, that, what an embarrassing service. But yes, she accepted that service because Vyasadeva had to appear. And that way she was benefited, where Vyasadeva, she became Vyasadeva's mother, and her stritva was not affected. She was the same woman, and she got a body which is got full of fragrance. We are running out of time. There was one last point I wanted to mention. In 2 minutes, I'll mention. So when Vyasadeva was writing the scriptures, it was not Vyasadeva, Lord Ganesha, he helped him. So Vyasadeva, when he was dictating the shloka, so Ganesha said, say, I'm going to write the whatever you're saying, but there is one condition, that you should not stop. You should keep on speaking and I will write it. The moment you stop, I will stop. Okay, that was the condition put forward by Lord Ganesha, that I will write, but you need to go on speaking. So Vyasadeva was very intelligent. So what he did, after every 100 shloka, he used to give one very difficult shloka. So Vyasadeva also put a condition. He said, fine, I will not stop, but my condition is that you should understand the shloka and then you should write. Otherwise, you should, you should not just write. So Ganesha said, fine, I will understand and I will write. Ganesha is so intelligent. So he said, yeah. So Vyasadeva used to tell 100 shlokas back to back, and Ganesha was writing. And then 101 shloka, Vyasadeva will give one very difficult shloka. Sanskrit, it has got different meanings, right? One word can have different meanings. So he used to give one very difficult shloka, and then Ganesha used to stop and he used to think, okay, what it could mean. Okay, fine, I think it means this. No, I think it means that. And by the time Ganesha is thinking, Vyasadeva used to again compile another 100 shlokas, and then he used to write. That was the powerful level of Vyasadeva. So with this, I would like to stop. So today we have learned why there is a Yuga cycle which is interchanged. We have learned how fortunate we are. We talked about 28th Mahayuga. We spoke about golden age of Kali. Then we learned birth of Vyasadeva. But before that, we also understood that we should not get bewildered by the Lilas of the Lord. Okay. And we learned that we can question philosophy, but we shouldn't question the activities of the Lord. We should follow the guidance of the Lord, but we should not imitate what Lord has done. And Prabhupada said, if you want to imitate in full, like Krishna lifted Govardhan hill. So you can also lift Govardhan, and then maybe you can try. And Lord Shiva, he drank poison. So maybe you can drink poison, and then maybe you can imitate other activities of Lord Shiva. So imitation is not recommended, but yes, we need to follow the instructions. Then we spoke about the services which we should get. We should be happily doing. We should not get embarrassed, because that is good for all. We discussed about the sages' curses are always boon. Sometimes the seniors scold us. We should be very happy that today one senior has scolded me, and it has removed all my bad reactions. And I'm so fortunate. You should be genuinely very happy actually when we get scoldings from the senior Vaishnavas. I tell you, not everybody is fortunate to get this scoldings. So if you're not getting a scolding, you should ask actually. Prabhu, you're not scolding at all. I think I'm not on the right path. So please do tell my faults. so that I don't want to lose this diamond of Krishna consciousness. So with this, I stop here. Thank you so much for patiently listening to me. And if I've done any mistakes, I seek your forgiveness. Please do forgive me. I'm just trying. And also, if I have missed out any points, I request Prabhuji and all the other Vaishnavas to please add your point. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Padita Pavan Guru Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu, for your wonderful class. You have done a lot of research and you gave very bullet points. And we should not misunderstand the pastimes of the Lord. And there should not be any counter argument. Tadvidhi pranipatina. Also, I just like to add one point, like even we should not misunderstand Gurudev's activities also. As much as possible, we should follow the footsteps of previous acharyas, Satyavati, and we should be grateful for all they have given for us. So thank you very much. You can please welcome the questions, Prabhu. Then you can continue leading the session. Hare Krishna. And you can stop the recording.
Hare Krishna.